Political philosophy of Hobbes has been criticized on different grounds, especially the attributes of the sovereign that Hobbes had explained. They were highly criticized. It's believed that if the attributes of sovereign that Hobbes zealously explained were set to the lowest 14, even the lowest 14 would feel ashamed of those attributes that Hobbes explained with zeal. So his political philosophy was highly criticized on different grounds. Let's see those criticisms. First, the political theory of Hobbes is unhistorical, especially the theory of social contract and the theory of formation of state and society. The way he explained that how society came into being and how state came into being through a social contract. This all is unhistorical. We don't see any historical or any historical proof for the theory that Hobbes had explained. And the next thing is that Hobbes paints the darker side and completely ignored the brighter side of human nature. He considered man as cruel, as selfish in state of nature. But the man is not always cruel and not always selfish. Yes, man is selfish, man is cruel, but at the same time, man has another side as well. That's he is sympathetic to his fellow beings as well. And Hobbes completely ignored that brighter side of human nature and portrayed the darker side of human nature only. And still, if we will accept that darker side as the nature of man, this also creates some other confusions. For example, if man is cruel, if man is selfish, if man is solitude, then how a man who was selfish, cruel, and solitude suddenly become a social man and a man who start loving peace by just signing a treaty? How his nature suddenly converts, how his nature suddenly change, how a man who was following the nature of war become a man who start following peace, how a man who was selfish and fraud become a principled man and sympathetic man. How it's possible that by just signing a contract the man go against his own nature? If man was cruel, if man was totally cruel, if man was totally selfish, then he would remain selfish and he would remain cruel even after the signing of contract. The man came to the man made society actually not because of a signing of contract, but because of his nature of or his social nature, his social instincts. Even we can see from the historical evidences that the barbarous man or the primitive man, they even had the instinct of living in societies. So to say that the man came or man made society by just signing a contract is wrong. And I'm sorry, it's no law. Hobbes considered no law in state of nature is or state of nature is baseless. Hobbes considered that there was no law in state of nature and it's baseless. Yeah, it might be possible that in state of nature there would not be any developed laws just we are having now in the modern times, but there were some principles, there were some rules, and the people were following those rules. So so to say that there was no law in the state of nature is baseless. The only positive thing that we can see in Hobbesian concept is that the Hobbes sovereign is representative of people. This is the only uh, attribute that we can give to the Hobbes. The Hobbes sovereign looks after public welfare. But still, this is only limitation of Leviathan, and which could rarely occurs. So the champion of absolutism views of the champion of absolutism who gives the view of a sovereign who will think about the welfare of man is still it's again a paradox. Vaughan was not liking the political philosophy of Hobbes. He said, so far as the vital development of the political thought is concerned, Leviathan had to remain without influence and without fruits, fantastic and incapable of propagating its kinds. Vaughan considered the Leviathan as a fruitless material, as a baseless, as a material with no influence. It is a baseless, it has no historical evidences, and it is a flop idea of state. So Vaughan completely ruled out the Hobbesian concept. Hobbes did not foresee the distinction between state and government. Actually, state and government are two different entities or two different things. State is a perpetual and omnipotent organization, while government is not. The government can be changed, while state can't be changed. State is an omnipotent, and state is a wider, a broader organization as compared to government. Government is just a part of state. If you are saying state, it means much more than government. In state, obviously, government is a part, a position is a part, population, the people, the geography, the laws, everything. Well, the state is a machinery, or sorry, a government is a machinery or an organ of state that execute laws or make laws. So the state and government are two different things, while Hobbes did not foresee the distinction between state and government. And the Hobbesian concept of or the Hobbesian political philosophy is actually a mixture of anarchy and absolutism. Hobbes uh, Hobbes said the only remedy to control good behavior of man was the coercive power of sovereign, and he completely ignored other factors. While this is not the so, obviously the coercive nature of the sovereign helps to implement laws to some extent, but it doesn't mean that it is the only the coercive nature of the sovereign that can help to implement laws. There are other things as well. For example, there is a nature of man to follow laws. Man is not always lawless. Man has two sides. Men follow laws as well. There's a nature of man. The nature of man, man is social animal. He follow laws, and the laws can be implemented because of the law following or the law abiding nature of man as well. So to say that it is the only coercive nature of sovereign that helps to implement laws is a baseless concept. While Hobbes says that the coercive nature of the sovereign helps to implement laws only. So we can say that the Hobbesian model was actually a mixture of anarchy and absolutism. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.